Welcome to Defeat Your Cravings, hosted by Dr. Glenn Livingston, PhD. Glenn has held his doctorate in psychology for more than 30 years and is also a former multi-million-dollar consultant to the big food industry and uses his experience to help you defeat your cravings. This show will help you to focus on dramatically reducing cravings and leave the diet mentality behind, so you can more easily and effortlessly achieve your health, fitness, and body composition goals. Please remember, no doctor-patient relationship is created via this show, and you are responsible for confirming any changes to your diet, health, or psychological routines with an appropriately licensed professional before implementing them. Now, before we get started, if you haven't yet downloaded the free smartphone app to access dozens of these recordings all in one place, as well as to avail yourself of a confidential community for support, motivation, and assistance, please visit the podcast link on defeatyourcravings.com as soon as possible. And now, here's your host, Dr. Glenn Livingston.
Hey, this is the very good Dr. Glenn Livingston, and I'm here with a nice woman named Ash, who has agreed to let me record this session so I can share with you all her strength and progress and frustrations and observations and wisdom and all that kind of thing. So, Ash, how are you today?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Oh, good. Thank you for coming. So this is a different kind of an interview for me because normally people come to me after reading the book and having practiced it for a long time, and they ask me very specific questions about the book. But you responded to an accidental post I made on Facebook on my personal page. What was it that drew you in? What was it you were hoping we could talk about?
I remember seeing your post and everything you were saying in your past posts. It was all resonating with me because I have pretty much been binge eating as long as I can remember. I don't know exactly when it started. I just know that from some emotional trauma in my childhood, I think that's what triggered it. Also, finding out later on in life, I do truly believe it's also due to parasites, which is another long explanation. But yeah, everything you were posting was resonating with me, and it kind of spoke to like my inner struggle. So that kind of drew me in. And then I remember you suggesting I listen to one of your podcasts. And then when I did, I was like, wow, you know so much, you're so helpful. And I was just really intrigued by that. Since that, I've been wanting to read your book.
Well, I really hope I know some things that can help you. I think you're talking about two things that are really important. There's the emotional trauma, but then there's also the legitimate physical needs. And it is possible that sometimes people are driven to binge because they're actually feeding the parasites. They don't know that. We hardly ever talk about that, and I'm not a nutritionist or a dietitian, so I'm not really fluent or conversant in that type of language. But if you want to say a few things about it so that people know where they can get more information and see if that's part of the problem, I'd be happy to have you do that.
Okay. I haven't been to a doctor for it recently. I basically kind of came to the conclusion on my own that I had them, and I started passing them. I did my first colon cleanse about a year and a half ago. It kind of started making sense. I met some people online who are my really good friends now, and they have been cleansing and doing kind of like detoxing with raw veganism and fasting, and they have been passing parasites for a couple years as well. And the reason why it can take a while is because they can attach to your intestinal walls. They can live in other parts of your body, like your heart, your brain, your spine, and they basically feed off of you. I know I do have emotional links to certain foods and addictions, but part of me, it's not always part of me. I always felt like I couldn't control it, like there was something out of my control. And after finding out about parasites, I started to understand it more. And then once I started passing them, I was like, no way, like I really do have them. I have proof. It's not just me that's causing all of this. And then once I started passing them a few months ago, I was telling my mom about it because I started to feel better. And she told me when I was 10 years old that I was throwing up constantly, and they took me to the doctor and they had my feces tested for parasites, and it came back positive. So at that time, I was like 10 or 11, which is how old my kids are now. At that time, they gave me antibiotics and just sent me on my way. Well, I don't think those parasites ever left because when I first passed a large one, it was long enough to basically grow inside of me for like 20 years. So I think that's where it started, because I remember gaining weight, a lot of weight, when I was around my daughter's age. It's scary and it's gross, but after passing so many over the past year, I realized it's not just the parasites. Like, I can't just blame them for all my issues. I noticed when I was emotionally triggered while I was like detoxing and cleansing this past year, I would binge. And I'm like, well, I'm passing all these parasites, I'm getting healthy, I'm getting cleaner inside. Why am I still doing this? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to control my brain now. Yeah, I can clean my insides all I want and I can get rid of all of them as much as I can, but I'm responsible for how I react to stress or addictions to certain foods.
Yeah, there is a multitude of factors is what you're describing. You did feel better physically, though?
I do feel a lot better, I do, but I'm still working on it. I still feel like I've got a long ways to go. I'm not passing as many now, which is nice, but occasionally I still am. So I don't know how long it will take exactly. No one really tells you this because it's not something that's mainstream. There's this one doctor I follow online. He has a retreat in Hawaii that he helps people pass parasites at. He talks all about it, but it's not something that everyone knows about. Like, you tell people that and they think it comes from going to other countries, and it's normal. Like, most people have them, but they just don't know.
That's kind of scary. I actually saw a naturopath who gave me treatments for parasites. I don't know if I fixed all of it, but I need to mention one or two things here about this which can complicate the issue.
Okay.
Binge eaters are usually also triggered by dieting or fasting. Puts them into a feast or famine cycle. And so if you do have parasite, it's really hard to determine which to go after first. Do you fix the binging or do you fix the parasites? Because the cleansing can make you want to binge more. I don't really know the answer to that. I tend to steer my clients away from cleansing and fasting because I find they always bounce back with the binge when they do that. I don't deny the medical benefits of fasting. I don't deny that you can push these things through your system, and then in the long run, maybe in the short run it's harder to stop binging, but maybe in the long run it's easier because now you're not feeding the parasites and now you just have your body to feed. I've also talked to clients, this is separate and apart from the cleansing issue, who recognize that they do have parasites or microorganisms that are driving the binge, and they actually got mad at it, the way that you would get mad at your inner pig or your inner, call it a food demon, you don't have to call it a pig. I was not a vegan when I wrote the book a long time ago. I am now. So, for example, I know someone who said, I'll be damned if I'm going to feed the yeast. It's taken over my brain. It's making me want to do this, but I'm in control. It's not in control. It's going to have to suffer. And so you can use the same concept in my book, which has to do with effecting a total separation between yourself and your, we call it the pig, so that you can recognize the urge to binge quicker, so that you can disempower all the rationale that the pig gives you before you decide to listen to it. Anyway, so I wanted to mention both those things. So Ash, what you'd like to do today with me is you'd like help with the emotional part of it. What would you like help with?
That would be great, because I've also been trying to disconnect myself to being so connected to like the parasites, and then also being so connected to thinking like my emotional problems with that are linked to binging is like who I am, because I know I'm more than that. That would be great, because I've never really had help with that, and I've never fully talked about it. Maybe I have when I was younger. I don't fully remember. My parents did try to help me lose weight when I was younger, and they took me to a nutritionalist, but I really don't remember it because I was so young. I don't think I've ever fully talked about it with someone.
Okay, so why don't we do that then? The way this works, it's not so much like therapy. It's more like a process by which we come up with the behavior that you really want to, and you can talk to me about anything you want to as we go through this. There's a rule. It's a rules-based program, and you come up with a rule that you want to be able to follow. I'll only have chocolate on Sundays. I'll always start my day with a big kale banana smoothie, or I'll always put my fork down between bites, or I won't watch TV and eat at the same time, or you just start with one simple thing that you know would improve your life. And it's a behavioral thing, something that if I came over and watched you all day, that I would know whether you were doing it or not. It's not so much of an emotional interpretation or feeling, it's more of a behavioral thing. Would you be open to doing that?
Yeah. Over the past year, kind of when I started cleansing meaning like eating healthier, fasting, but mostly I took into account like I am in control of my life and I have to make that choice every day to eat healthy. So I started doing that actually. Like every morning, my daughters and I, we start our day whenever we have our first meal, which is usually around like 10 a.m. or 11, we have a smoothie. And it's been so helpful. My energy levels have increased. I'm happier. I notice because my daughters are eating healthier with me, they're happier. We don't argue as much. So that's definitely something I can do.
What would the rule be?
I think it would be starting my day off with the smoothie because I notice like on the days that I don't, I get those cravings and then I give in. But if I'm already full of healthy foods, I don't want to give in as much. I notice I'm less likely to because I've already started my day properly. And I believe that's how we should all start our days, with healthy stuff. Like we used to eat cooked meals in the morning because right now we're mostly raw vegans. So we're kind of like raw till 4. So we have fresh fruits and veggies all day, which helps so much. And then at the end of the day, we'll have a cooked meal. I can definitely do that. That's doable. I would say juice too, like fresh orange juice or veggie juice, but my juicer doesn't work that great. So I've been doing a lot of citruses. But that's definitely doable for me. As far as saving a day for a certain food,
You don't have to do that.
so just one thing. Okay.
If that's going to be enough to make a difference, I will always start my day with a green smoothie and fresh juice. Is that the rule?
Green smoothies, I don't really like.
I didn't mean to insert that.
It's okay.
I'll always start my day with a smoothie and fresh juice.
Exactly. Or fresh juice. I can't always do both if I'm in a hurry.
No, that's good that you're correcting me. I always start my day with a smoothie or fresh juice. That's easy.
Yeah,
You want to just take a breath and tell me that that's something you want to commit to? That's something you want to be able to do?
definitely. I did it yesterday. I haven't had my smoothie yet.
Ash, if you did this every day for a year, do you want me to call it a food demon as opposed to a pig?
Yes, it definitely feels like a food demon.
So I know that your food demon says that you can't do this, but what if you could? What if you started your day with a smoothie or fresh juice every day for the next year? I called you up on March 27th, 2020, and you said, oh my God, Glenn, things are so different. What would be different? What would actually change for you if you did this for a whole year?
I can see myself achieving my health goals, that's for sure, because I committed for 365 days, no days off from doing that. That would make a huge difference.
Which goals would you achieve? What are your health goals?
So my health goals are to be healthy. I do have a goal weight, but that's not my full concern. My health goals are to be healthy, meaning most of the parasites gone, my binge eating under control. I control it. No longer do I let my food demon control me, which I'm still working on. I'd like to be close enough to my goal weight.
Can I ask how far away that is, or you'd rather not say?
I think I'm like 80 pounds away from it now. It seems like a lot to me, but the thing is I've done it before in the past. I used Weight Watchers to help me. I achieved it. I got close enough. I think I like to say release because a friend of mine who helped me find out about the parasites, she suggested I say release or let go of weight instead of losing or lost, because if it's lost, you can potentially find it again, you know?
Yes.
And that's not what I want.
I heard that a long time ago. I forgot about that. Yeah.
It helps me a lot. Like I'm constantly correcting myself, of course, because I'm so used to saying lost for years. I've been struggling with releasing the weight and then gaining it back. I released, I think, about 90, if I remember correctly, and I'd used Weight Watchers, but technically speaking, I believe Weight Watchers is kind of like, you don't count calories, you count points. So I was basically starving myself to lose the weight because I would crave unhealthy stuff and then eat it. And then because I used all my points on unhealthy stuff, I could hardly eat anymore for the rest of the day.
I've heard that story before.
Yeah. And Weight Watchers, I don't think that's the way to go. So I no longer use that. If I need to count my calories, I use Chronometer. But when you're raw vegan, you know, you can eat as much fruits and veggies as you want. You don't really have to limit. You just eat until you're full. And you can lose weight or release weight over time by doing that because it's not the same as breads and pasta. And it's different. So being a raw vegan has been interesting. Mostly raw, I should say, raw till 4. It's been interesting kind of like learning about the healthier foods.
How much of the 80 pounds do you think you would lose in a year?
I would like to lose most of it, but I know that I probably need to take it slow because of how I did it before.
So realistically, how much do you think you would lose?
I think 50 because last year I think I released a total of 30. So 50 would be okay for me because I don't want to release it too fast. I want to like take my time in getting healthy. I don't want to rush it because I rushed it before.
I totally support that. You caught me, I said lost. The other problem with losing weight is that someone near you could find it also. Well, what would be the benefit of releasing 50 pounds? What would change in your life because you release 50 pounds?
I think I would feel better about myself. At this point in my life, I have a lot of self-love. I've never loved myself more, but I still have those moments where I have a hard time accepting how I look. Being overweight, well, technically I'm obese. So being obese, it definitely hinders with my energy levels. It's hard, some days like I just don't want to do anything because I know it's like my weight holding me back. There's stuff I want to do in business that I'm holding back on because of how I look. So I think it would definitely boost my confidence and my love for myself even more so. And I think it would give me more energy to do a lot more with my children, which is really important to me.
What kind of things would you do with your kids?
Hiking, when we go hiking, I push myself to the limit, but then I'm like dead for the next couple of days. And I know if I was in a healthier weight range, I wouldn't feel that way afterwards. I want to do more vacation stuff and I want to take pictures with them on vacation, but I feel so self-conscious in pictures, so I end up just taking pictures with them when we go somewhere. Stuff like that bothers me.
What I'm trying to do is paint a really vivid picture of the future for you. And I'm trying to paint the positive aspect of it. The food demon wants to concentrate on how bad it feels now. And it's natural that you're aware of that, but it doesn't want you to see how positive a future is waiting for you. That's why I keep rewording what you're saying. You're going to have more energy, you're going to love yourself more, feel better about yourself. You're going to go hiking without getting exhausted. You're going to be binge free. You'll have released your parasites. What else? What else would be better? By the way, Ash, I was 80 pounds overweight also, so I know what it's like.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's rough. My relationship with food, going on vacations with them, indulging in maybe some like vegan treats and not overdoing it, just enjoying a little bit with them and then going off to the next place and not thinking about food constantly, not letting it take over my brain. Because that's another thing that the food demon wants. Food demon wants me to like constantly think about my next meal or my next treat. That's why fruit helps me so much. Because if I'm craving something sweet, it takes care of it in a different way, of course. It's not like junk food, like vegan junk food I've had. But that's why the smoothies help me so much. And some days I'll have 2 or more if I need to. And they're full of calories, nutrients, all the good stuff. So I don't ever feel guilty for doing that.
That's fantastic.
Smoothies are easy. You just drink it and you don't have to chop up much.
What else would be better in your life if you always started your day with a smoothie or fresh juice for a whole year?
My energy level. I know they would shift. Usually when I get into the smoothie mode, it's every day, right? But sometimes I just give it to my daughters. Sometimes I don't even drink it. And then that's when my day crashes, right? So I think my energy level would be through the roof. I think consistently doing that for a year, it would be life-changing. My energy levels, I think I would perform better while working. I'd have better concentration. The benefits are endless with healthy food.
Just don't gloss over that. If you had better concentration and you had more energy to work, what would you accomplish?
A lot more. I feel like I procrastinate a lot right now with work and goals, and it's hindering me in many ways. Me and my kids, we have goals to move into a dream apartment and make more money to do this, and that. And because my energy levels are lower right now, and I'm still giving into the food demon occasionally, it's affecting all that I want to do. I put it on hold. I put it on hold because of how I feel.
Tell me something that's on hold that would no longer be on hold. Something specific.
I need to revamp my photography website and update that. And then once I do that, my daughters act and model. So we've been on a break because of how I feel. and we need to update their photos and get them back to acting and modeling. And once they do that, I can rejoin their agency as an agency photographer and get more work with all the kids who act and model. And I've been holding off on that, and that's all the money we need for our goals. You know, it's all linked. And I feel like so lazy. Even on the days when I'm eating healthy, it's like I don't do it long enough to see results. I do it for like a week and then I binge. You know what I mean? It's like that cycle I'm kind of stuck in.
So if you did this for a year, then you'd be working for the agency, you get a lot more work.
Yes, definitely before the year is up for sure.
So Ash, if you take a breath and you think about everything you just described for me in the future in a year, do you really believe that would all happen if you just started your day with a smoothie or fresh juice every single day?
Yeah, that's what really gets me through like the good days I've had in the past. That's helped me immensely.
What happens if you don't have the smoothie? What happens if you just keep doing what you're doing and not just next year, but the year after or 5 years from now? What happens?
I know what's going to happen. I'm going to be in the same beat up apartment, working the jobs that I don't truly love, the jobs I'm not truly passionate about. And I'm going to be miserable because I didn't take those steps.
Can I talk to your food demon for a little bit?
Sure.
Ash, by the way, I like you, and I'm going to be attacking your food demon a bit. If it feels uncomfortable, it's your food demon that I'm attacking, not you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What are all the reasons that your food demon says that you can't start every day with a smoothie for a year, that you won't do it, that you shouldn't do it? What are all your food demon's rationales for you not doing this? I'm going to write them down.
Because I'm not talented enough or I'm not good enough to have my dream life.
You aren't good enough to have your dream of life, so why even bother?
Right.
Why else? I'm going to write them all down and we're going to come back to them.
Because of some of the stuff that I've done in my past, I don't deserve it. Or I have to work twice as hard because of some of the stuff that I've done. Because I've been a bad person and it's like a punishment. Like I want to punish myself for something I've done in the past. Like I haven't fully forgiven myself.
Okay. The food demon says you've been a bad person and you deserve to suffer.
Yeah.
Why else?
Because I'm just like a normal person. I can never get to the level I want to get because I'm just not special enough, which is so stupid.
Your food demon is mean.
Yeah.
It's good you're saying it out loud. So what else?
I feel like really, really bad about my body because of the way it looks. It doesn't look like normal bodies. I have like saggy skin all over it from releasing weight before. So that is something that holds me back a lot because I'll never have a normal looking body. So why even bother getting to my goal weight when, unless I get plastic surgery, I'm never going to be able to wear a bikini without people staring at me at the beach, which is dumb, which is so dumb.
Yeah, there's more important things. Why bother? Because you're never going to have a normal looking body and you can't wear a bikini again.
Right, because I've released weight before in the past and I still had the saggy skin on my tummy and my arms, and that made me feel really crappy. I thought it would like go away, and it doesn't just go away.
So your food demon says you should keep binging and not have smoothies in the morning because of that.
Yeah.
Why else?
Honestly, I feel like some of this is coming, I don't know if you believe in past lives, but I know it's like linked to past lives I've had, which I want to find out more about.
In what way? It's retribution for a past life, or what do you mean?
I don't know if you know how karma works, but I don't know if you believe in karma, but people make themselves suffer for what they believe that they deserve from something they did in past lives. Like that's a real thing. And that's why they can't overcome some of their inner demons to move forward how they want to in life. And I believe that's something that's also holding me back. And I don't know exactly what it is. I am going to be doing past life regression soon to find out more under hypnosis, but it's only me who's doing this to myself. It's the inner demon also, but like that's me, like that's part of me, some weird dark part of myself.
It says that you did something in the past, you don't even know what it was, but you're just a bad person and you always were a bad person in the past. So you have to pay for it.
In like a past life or something, I feel like there's a reason why this is happening to me now, and I like self-sabotage myself in a way. I don't know, it's just so weird, but I can't really think of anything else.
By the way, you're doing a fabulous job. You're being extremely vulnerable. I really respect that. I want to be here for you to help you get through this. I want to suggest that in each one of these reasons that the food demon is giving you, that there's a kernel of truth, because you're not a crazy person and you really have thought this through. But at the same time, there's probably a strong lie. It's probably a strong lie. So I want to go through each one of these reasons that the food demon says you shouldn't do this or you can't do this. You can't have a smoothie every day or juice every day. I want you to tell me where the lie is. I want you to help me find the lie. And if you can't find it, I'll help too, okay?
Okay.
And the food demon says you're just not talented enough or good enough to have the dream life that you want, so why bother? No reason to have a smoothie every day because you're not talented enough or good enough. Where's the lie in that?
Well, I know I'm talented. That's a lie because I know I'm talented, but I haven't been putting my talents to use. My artistic side has been on hold and my creativity has been put on the back burner. So that's definitely a lie because I know I'm talented in my heart and soul. Like that I was given gifts for a reason.
You just need to put it to use.
Yeah, I need to stop procrastinating and letting this BS control me.
Yeah. When the demon says you did crappy stuff in the past and because you're a bad person, you deserve to suffer, so you shouldn't have a smoothie every day. Where's the lie in that?
Yes, I have done crappy things in my past, which a lot of people have. And the lie is like, I'm not that person anymore. I've changed and I've improved myself 100 times more than I was. And I'm still improving every day. I'm working hard to improve myself. So that's not completely true. Yes, that's happened, but that was me from last year, the year before, the year before.
Ash, do you believe in redemption? Do you believe people deserve another chance?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
I do too. I have another thought about this. Would it be okay if I shared it?
Yeah.
Do you believe that your daughters will benefit if you always start your day with a smoothie for a year or fresh juice?
Yes. Because we started eating healthier in June of last year, and it hasn't been a full year yet, but I've seen the improvements in them. They used to be really moody and cranky a lot, and I've seen a huge shift in their personalities. It's weird. Like, they're just happier, they're nicer. They've actually passed parasites last summer when we ate mostly watermelon and citruses for almost a week. I think that's helped choosing the healthy over the unhealthy. I've seen it.
Do you believe that your daughters deserve to feel healthier and they deserve good things?
Yes, they know about my binge problem and they try to help me through it. I hide it from them sometimes because it's embarrassing when I fail. And even on the days where I do that, like in front of them, they choose the healthy stuff. And I'm so happy they're doing that.
Do you believe that your daughters would deserve to suffer for things you did in the past?
No, that is all me. Not at all. I don't believe they deserve that.
So I want you to think really carefully about this last question, okay? Do you believe that your daughters will suffer if you make yourself suffer because the food demon says you're a bad person?
Yes, I do. Some part of them will.
So do you see why the idea that you have to keep punishing yourself for bad things, you deserve to suffer, do you see where that's a lie?
Yeah.
It's a lie because you believe in redemption. It's a lie because you did bad things in the past, but you're a different person. And it's a lie because your daughter's fate is intimately connected to you. They need you to take care of yourself.
Right.
The food demon says you're just a normal person. You're not really so special, so you don't deserve to take care of yourself like this. Kind of a variation of what we've been saying, but where's the lie in that?
Everyone is special. Everyone has something to offer this world. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here. So that's not true. And I know I'm special because I do, like, despite my struggles, I do help others. I do help them with the same issues. Like, I help inspire them and motivate them. Like, people tell me all the time online. So I know that there's a reason why I'm here and interested in the things I'm interested in and talented in the areas talented in. So it's not true.
Yeah. Because you're going to have saggy skin and you won't be able to wear a bikini, there's no point to losing the weight again.
If I really want to, I can have surgery later on. There's no reason why I can't. Actually eating fruit and vegetables more every day, I notice my skin is trying to shrink back to normal. And I never noticed that before. When I lost weight in the past, I wasn't eating the healthiest food. I was still vegan, but I wasn't eating that healthy. And it didn't really do that. And I think discovering this has been really helpful to my confidence, my self-confidence.
That's so cool. I didn't know that happened.
Yeah, it's been a lot better. I deserve to be at a healthy weight regardless of how my skin looks.
Yes. Atta girl. Yes. Yes. In college, I dated a girl who lost over 100 pounds. She looked fine. She'd had the surgery and she looked fine. A couple of scars, but they were kind of in the right places and it was no big deal. When the food demon says you did something horrible in a past life, you don't even know what it is, but therefore you deserve to suffer.
That's kind of weird. I know that's weird. Probably most people don't say that. Honest, that could be an excuse. Like, I don't even know if it's really real. It's just something that has been on my mind a lot. I can't let that hold me back, regardless of if it's true or not. The food demon likes to make a lot of excuses.
Yes, it does. You have a very creative one. That's probably the most creative one that I've heard. I've talked to hundreds of people.
It might be real. I'll find out soon.
Suppose it is. Suppose you murdered or raped someone in a past life or did something even worse. Does that mean that your girls deserve to suffer?
No, not at all. And they love smoothies. If they don't get their smoothies, they get moody.
Ash, do you believe that even murderers and rapists, they deserve redemption if they want to change?
Yes, I do. It's hard for me to say that because doing that is so evil, and that's just from a really, really dark place. It's disgusting behavior, but the way I see life, though, I believe in past lives. I believe that we have a karmic cycle and we go into a new life after we die in this body, in this time. So I know that for them doing that, they're going to have karma, whether it's in this life or the next one. So I do believe in redemption for people like that, because they're going to have to pay off that karma. It's just kind of like the law of the universe. That's what I believe.
And so they almost owe it to the universe to take care of themselves and do good things to make up for what they did.
And to help the collective, because we're all kind of part of a collective consciousness. When we uplift ourselves and we do right in our life and for us and the people around us, it uplifts everyone around us, like the collective consciousness, if that makes sense. Yeah, because we're all part of the same universe. It helps. Helping ourselves helps make the planet a better place for everyone.
Ash, I think you're reasoning in a very intelligent way. I don't disagree with anything you're saying. I think you're reasoning in a really intelligent way. How confident are you feeling that you're going to have a smoothie every day or a juice for the next year?
Like 95% confident.
Tell me where the 5% is coming from.
It's that inner demon.
What's it saying?
It's not really saying anything right now, but it's
just there?
Yeah, it's just there.
It'll be there. It's your lizard brain. You have all these memories. Not done it before, so how are you going to do it again? And you can't cut out your lizard brain, so the memories and the physiology is there. And so you have this sense of uncertainty. And there's a mental trick we use to get rid of that. We can't separate our physical selves from the food demon because it's wired around our midbrain. It's our survival drive. We need it. But we can psychologically separate from the food demon. And we could decide that all of its uncertainty, all of its tense feelings, all of its desires and rationales for us to binge. In this context, binge means to stop having smoothies. It just really means to break the rules. Then we can say that that's our food demon and not us. So you could say, I'm 100% confident I'm going to have a smoothie every day, but my food demon has other ideas.
Oh, okay. I like that. I'm 100% confident. I'm 111% confident that I'm going to have a smoothie every day for a year, and my inner demon is screaming no.
Yeah. You see what a relief it is to have that separation, to realize that that's not you?
Yeah, you're really good at this.
Thank you. It's my life's work. Do you have any questions or concerns?
No, this has helped me a lot with that, like, mental blockages that I've been having. This has helped me a lot.
Ash, what I want you to do from here is anytime you have a thought in your head that either says maybe you're going to forget to make a smoothie tomorrow, or maybe it's just not a good idea today, or maybe you don't deserve it, you say, oh, that's my food demon. I deserve smoothies. I'm going to have one every day.
Right.
Okay, you get it.
My body deserves it.
Would you like to follow up in a month and let me know how you're doing?
Yeah, that sounds good.
And that brings us to the end of today's broadcast of Defeat Your Cravings, hosted by Dr. Glenn Livingston. Now, if you'd like to find out more about the products and services Dr. Glenn offers to help you dramatically reduce your cravings and stop overeating in 90 days or less, please visit defeatyourcravingscoaching.com. That's defeatyourcravingscoaching.com. Thanks.